G'day YouTube, this is just a quick overview of KAOS Linux, the latest release, which is 2015.11, which of course stands for late November release. Now, I might also mention it is a roll-in release, so it's not like your typical Linux distribution whereby a new version comes out every 6 or 12 months. So it has the roll-in release, but moving on to some of the, I'll tell you a little bit about their philosophy. They seem to have a little bit of a lean philosophy in where they only have one desktop environment, such as the Kde Desktop Environment here, one framework, which is the Qt framework, and one architecture. So they focus all their energy into all these areas. So the one architecture, of course, is a 64-bit, so there's no 32-bit, for example. So they, even on their front website, actually, KAOS mentioned that this Linux distribution isn't designed for everybody. It's not intended for everyone. So that's an interesting thing to actually mention on one's website about their Linux distro. So just quickly getting into it, we have a KDE desktop environment, as we can see, slightly refined, a little bit different to some of the KDE desktop environments you do see around the web or on different distros, but fairly good nonetheless. You can throw on the widgets, as you can see. Just a moment before, I put on a couple of widgets here, and there we go. The file manager, as you might guess, is sometimes it is Dolphin, which sometimes does go in hand with KDE, which isn't too bad to see there. Loads fairly quickly, and I've got to say, just in general, this stuff is loading fairly quickly, and it's fairly responsive, which you might think, yeah, that might be normal, but it is running KDE, which is a little bit more resource heavy, and more importantly, I'm only running this on one CPU at the moment with a gig of RAM. So it's a virtual machine, of course. That's why I'm doing that, but it's just going really well. I'm really impressed by what's going on with it. Moving on, so we've had a look at the desktop environment, file manager, so we've got KDE and Dolphin, but the kernel, now being a rolling release, sometimes it does have some of the latest kernels. So as you guess, it's got the current latest kernel of Linux 4.2, as you should be able to see here. There we go, 4.2.6-1, so that's one of the latest there. Now, they also have a bit of a focus, KAOS do, on the applications that they use. It's more of a hand-picked selection, as they say on their website as well, but you will see a lot of the KDE or their KT framework applications, anything pretty much starting with a Q or a K, and yeah, so they've got a bit of a hand-picked selection there. Now, they do understand that some applications people use, they prefer to use some of the GTK applications such as GIMP or Inkscape or something like that. So they do allow it available in the repositories for downloading still, but they do try to keep things fairly limited and just, yeah, as I mentioned, to that KDE style, as you can see. So it's just their philosophy really, and it's what they choose to do, so that's okay. Now, the package manager is Pacman, so sort of based off Arch Linux there as well, so that's interesting to see. If we were to just type in a Pacman command, you'll see, yeah, okay, no operation specified, so yeah, that still sort of works, just haven't put anything in there. And that's pretty much it in a nutshell, guys. I've got to say, I found it to be pretty stable. It's pretty good. I am interested in the idea of a rolling release. I don't use one in particular, but I like how it's got, of course, the fundamentals, which is it uses the latest kernel, that sort of thing, latest applications, which is really cool. And yeah, it seems quite fast, quite stable. I would almost consider putting it on a slightly older laptop. I'm surprised at the performance of it, so that's pretty good. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell, guys. As I mentioned, just an overview, by no means a review per se, just a quick look at this new release of KAOS, and yeah, see what it does, see if it works for you, and yeah, just in general, just get a quick look. So cheers, guys, hope you've enjoyed, and I hope that this has been of some help for you. Ciao.